Hey everyone, it's Smriti. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be go through full guide to work with colored pencils for beginners. On your request, I have prepared a whole playlist in which I'm going to explain you step by step how to work with colored pencils. By the end of this video, you would know all the basics of colored pencils and which materials you would need to get started. Let's get into the video and let's just start by talking about the useful materials you would need. There are many types and brands out there. Colored pencils comes in variety of sets and sizes. You can have the smallest or really large size according to your budget. Smallest set could be a set of 12 colored pencils which have all the general colors, or as large as 150 pencils. But don't feel like you would need a set of 150 to get started. Even I don't have that, and I started with a set of only 12 colored pencils. Now, colored pencils normally come in two types, wax and oil-based. Wax-based pencils tend to have a softer and creamier core which is very easy to blend, while oil-based pencils is great to add details since it has harder core. I'm gonna talk about two brands which I use and I found them very nice. My favorite is Prismacolor, and it is a popular brand and very common among beginners. Since I emphasize on making drawing affordable to everybody, I'm going to talk about best and cheapest material you can buy to work with colored pencils. I personally own portrait set of Prismacolors. I think it is the cheapest and most essential you would need to have if you want to draw portraits. It contains all skin tones and they have creamy wax-based lead which makes them really nice for blending and creating softer transition between different skin tones. They also work great for details. And they also work great with all the techniques I use. For example, I create a skin texture using X-Acto knife. Another brand that I own is Faber-Castell Polychromos. I have a set of 12 pencils in it, and this is the first set I bought when I started with colored pencils. These are oil-based pencils which makes them great to add details. As they have harder lead, you don't need to sharpen them very often. But when it comes to realistic portrait, you can't blend them very smoothly, so it makes them great for animal study but not for portraits. Because they are oil based, so they have harder core, so they are great to add details, and in animals you have to draw fur and many details. So if you want to draw portrait, then I would suggest you to buy Prismacolors, and if you want to draw animals, then you can buy these Faber-Castell. These are awesome for that. So depending on what you want to draw, you can decide accordingly. What I would suggest is that if you want to draw portrait, then buy portrait set of Prismacolors. It's not easily available in the local stationery, so you can buy them online from Amazon. I will provide you its link in the description below. It just has about 24 color pencils, but they are all skin tones, which is really good for all the different skin tones you would need to draw in making portraits. Apart from these skin tones, you would also need some additional colors, for example gray tones to make the white of the eye. As you know, the sclera is not completely white. You can buy warm gray 30% and cool gray 30% and 50% as loose pencils. I will provide link in the description. I know it's a little expensive to get started with colored pencils, but believe me, it's a wonderful medium to try, and once you get your hands on it, you're gonna fall in love with them. And it's only one-time investment. I am here recommending you most basic material that would be enough to create any masterpiece of your own. Now let's get to the paper you would need. To create this smooth blending, I would suggest you to buy a smooth Bristol sheet. This is the same paper I use for any graphite sketches as well. These papers are also not easily available. I ordered it from Amazon. Its link will be in the description. Now, since wax-based pencils really have a softer core, their lead is very fragile and tend to get broken if you will use any ordinary sharpener to sharpen it. No, you don't need to buy an expensive sharpener to sharpen it. I will tell you a technique by which you can sharpen it by the ordinary sharpener you have. The technique is to turn your sharpener, not your pencil, while sharpening. And this technique works extremely well for any pencil with a softer core, like Prismacolors or any other pencil. So you just have to turn your sharpener instead of turning your pencil. Last material you would need is X-Acto knife. This is very important tool for colored pencils. I will tell you how to use it in my next tutorial on how to draw with colored pencils. It costs around 150 rupees. so it's not very expensive. You can buy it easily, but it's also not available in local stationeries. You can buy it online from Amazon. And of course, a pencil and an eraser to lay down the basic outlines. So it's all about today's video. In next tutorial, I will show you different techniques to work with colored pencils. For the time being, think about what you want to draw with colored pencils, and I promise you're gonna love this medium. Thank you for joining me today. Bye bye. See you next time. Right now I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Hope you guys do well. Bye bye.